y'all become with this 7-foot giant was too big for the NFL. Nigga, wait, you could be too big for the NFL? But I guess that makes sense because you could be too small for the NFL. That's some bullshit. Like, how can I be too big? Like, I feel like for somebody to say I'm too big, like, either I'm big, like in this sense, or like, because there's no way I'm tall and like I'm just too big. Wait, hold on. I wonder, like, what's the max height that I could be as a wide receiver? Because I'm like, if I'm like 7 foot, nigga, what? Nigga, I'm going crazy. But let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome new people, new subscribers.
Did you know there's a man too big for the NFL?
Ooh.
This is John Crop. He stands at 7 feet tall and is
Damn.
so big he can't stand up on his own, but has the strength of 3 NFL players.
Yeah, nigga, don't hit me. On God, I'm suing. On God, I'm suing. If he hit me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm suing. I'm coming for everything you own and your family, boy.
That's just
Don't
one of
hit
the
me.
12 unbelievable players I gotta show you. Like this NFL quarterback who weighed even more at 560 pounds.
Damn,
This
how
D1
you
football
moving?
player who is completely blind. Or this 4-foot tall running back who's so good he plays D1 football. And first, let's talk about the football player with half a body. This is Dave Stevens. And from the second he was born, his life was rough. Because not only was he born without legs, but his mom put him up for adoption immediately.
Whoa!
Now, he could have let all that get to his head.
Whoa!
But instead, he wanted to do the impossible. So in high school, he made the wrestling, baseball, and football team.
Shut up, bro!
And he'd run on his hands in baseball. In wrestling, opponents had trouble getting a hold of him.
Yeah.
In football, he'd latch
No
onto his
excuses.
opponent's legs.
I like that.
In fact, he was so good at sports, he broke multiple state records.
Yeah.
But even with all that, he still had doubters.
I talked to a Yankee scout, and he said, there's no really reality of you ever getting in. The odds are 30 trillion to 1 because guys with legs don't make it, and they have to be the best. Have to be the best in the world, which means you have to be 10 times best. And I just said, well, you can't take my dream away from me.
But by the 1980s, Dave became the only legless college athlete in the world when he played for Augsburg University football, baseball, and wrestling teams. But despite already proving everyone wrong, Dave had his eyes set on something much bigger,
Talk
the
to me.
NFL. And one day in 1990, Dave got the call. It was the Dallas Cowboys,
Okay.
asking if he wanted to come down for a tryout.
As he sat waiting for his turn at the Cowboy Open tryout yesterday, Dave Stevens looked a lot like the others who were there, chasing their dream of the NFL.
It makes me feel lucky seeing him, but yeah, it inspires me a lot. Yeah, it gave me chills up my spine. I talked to some of the players that was trying out. They felt the same way.
Indeed they did, evidenced by the spontaneous applause when Dave finished his
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I got chills, bro. Like, dead ass. Like, cause like, bro, no matter what, bro, like, you got no excuses. Like, if this nigga's out here running on his hands, which is crazy, like that, I just said that. This nigga's running. It's like, I'm not laughing at bro. I'm not laughing at bro. I'm laughing because it's just like bro, running on his hands. Like, it's just like this. Okay, just shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. My bad. I try to be motivational, inspirational. It went the other way. My bad.
And
I'm gonna shut up.
it kind of gave me chills up my spine. I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And it just kind of was like, you know, that's a lot of respect.
Now, while he didn't make the NFL, he did get a job at ESPN as a reporter, covering some of the most historic sporting events. And this man's done more with no legs than I have with 2, but this next player's missing both of his eyes, and somehow made it onto a D1 college team. See, this is Jake Olsen, and when he was just 8 months old, he was diagnosed with a rare cancer that caused him to lose his right eye. And then when he was 12, he lost his left eye the same way. But even though he was completely blind, Jake was determined to play football.
Wow.
We went through a number of drills, and they said, oh my gosh, there's no way this kid is ever gonna, learn how to snap.
Truthfully, I really sucked the first time. So the coaches kind of just put me aside, okay, this kid's gonna be on our team, but he'll be playing left bench.
So every day, Jake would practice long snapping, doing hundreds of reps over and over, trying to get the timing and precision down. And when his high school season rolled around, coaches couldn't believe it. Jake was the best long snapper on the team.
He kept practicing.
I love that. Come on, talk to me.
And finally, I started seeing some progress and said, oh my goodness.
They lined up all the long snappers, and I was snapping, and it was evident that I was the best.
Talk your shit, boy.
And after an amazing season on varsity, Jake committed to USC, where in his first game, he did this.
So Jake Olsen, how about this for an inspirational moment?
Come on.
He is out there snapping. Jake. Listen to the crowd. Look at the USC sideline. What a moment.
This shit crazy, bruh. This fire. Bruh. See, you can do anything you put your
Wish
mind
my
to,
man could
bruh.
have seen how perfect that was. Now, what if I told you that there's a football...
Rebound, what the fuck? Did you just say you wish you could see how perfect up? God tests you every day, y'all. God.
football player who lost their leg in the middle of a game. In 2014, Cody Casey was playing for Georgetown, and during a game, he was blocking a defender when he suddenly got hit from the side by another player, immediately breaking his leg.
My bone was pretty much bulging out of my
God.
skin. It didn't break the skin, but it was bulging, and I realized that I broke my leg. It was really shocking and devastating at the time.
So he was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed emergency surgery, and his leg was fine for a few weeks, but that didn't last long, because Cody's leg became infected. So doctors had to perform 9 more surgeries, but unfortunately, they didn't work.
After the first surgery, I thought it was gonna be that and then keep going. Second, we realized after the first surgery that my bone didn't grow for about 6 months. So we had to have another surgery. And, after that, I was trying to get walking again, get right back on track. And then it came to find out that I had an infection in my leg. So that was very devastating for me, and it was a little setback. So we had to get that all situated, cleaned out, and I had to have a couple more surgeries.
Wow.
And it got to the point where, my leg muscles pretty much died.
Wow.
And that's when the doctors gave me the decision.
Doctors gave Cody the most important decision of his life.
Wow.
Either keep his leg, but it would never work again,
Wow.
or have it amputated.
Wow.
And after days of thinking, Cody decided that he'd rather have no leg than a dead leg.
Wow.
But it turned out, getting his leg removed actually saved his career, because he received a prosthetic that allowed him to run. And after 9 months of practicing, Cody rejoined Georgetown as a part of the kick return team, where on his first play back, he shocked the world.
He returned kicks for us. The guy's a speedster,
Come on,
he's
Cody.
got one leg, but that prosthetic leg, he can go with it too. So we had him back returning kicks.
I was back there freshman year,
Yeah.
and just to have the chance to do it again,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, it's a little different, but like just the fact that I'm
Look
back
at him.
there,
That boy's
and,
moving.
it brought back a lot of memories.
And so
I ain't gonna
for
lie, that
us as
nigga
a
kick you.
team to
That
see-
nigga kick you with that shit. Well, you gonna see God for sure, nigga. But what? Nigga? Boy, I'll be so scared to tackle this nigga, bro.
got
What?
out there,
I wouldn't even touch
just
him. Let him go
literally
right
been
past.
through, and nothing
got
stopped
it.
him from being back on the field. It was
Good
just,
catch, Cody.
it was like there's nothing but positives that come from it as a team, from a team standpoint.
Man, now that dude's a legend. But now, we gotta talk about Caden Cox, because he's a college football player with
Yeah.
Down syndrome. See, Caden was born with a genetic disorder that causes developmental delays, but that didn't stop him from wanting to do it all. Go to college, play football, and maybe one day, make it to the NFL.
A hustler.
Early on, though, people told Caden that he could never do it. In
Ooh.
fact, people told him he wouldn't even graduate from high school. So, Caden took all that hate to heart
Yeah.
and proved everyone wrong
Yeah.
for making it on his high school football team, getting accepted into the Hocking College Hawks, and in 2021, he made his university's football team. Caden had already accomplished more than some people do in their entire lives.
Tough.
But during a game at Sussex College, Caden made sports history, becoming the first player with Down syndrome to score in a real college football game.
It was an extra point and an
Yes, sir.
exclamation point. With the kick, Caden became the first known person with Down syndrome to play as well
Bro,
as
this
score
is
in a college
tough.
football game.
This
He's
fire.
just like beaming. I did it, Mom. My baby did it. I mean, they said he couldn't even go to college, and look where he is.
Damn, we need to put
Bro,
that man
I'm
in the Hall of Fame.
getting chills,
But
bro.
look, we gotta mention the shortest college player in football history.
Ain't gonna lie, this ain't giving me chills, buddy. I'm tripping your ass. Ain't gonna lie. Well, I ain't gonna cap. I'm jumping right over this nigga. If he try to tackle me, I'm jumping right over that nigga. I'm gonna push that nigga down, boy. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, bro. Look, if that boy try to tackle me, Nigga, I'm going, boy. I'm sure you got my little brother.
Jason Carter,
There's
a
no way.
4'9", 130-pound running back who was so good he played for Rice University, a D1 school. All because Jason figured out that being short could actually be an advantage. See, in high school, he was so low to the ground, all he had to do was duck past defenders. And on defense, this man was a menace. He'd go straight for the ankles.
I like that.
And it worked, because by his senior year, he had scored 18 touchdowns and racked up 92 tackles.
Oh my God.
Those stats were so good, he was able to walk onto a D1 football team. And in 2013, he made history by becoming the shortest player to ever play in a college football game.
What a great story UTEP taking on Rice.
That
Fourth
boy,
quarter
he one of
out of the
those,
pick.
ain't
There
right.
he is, getting his first career
He one of
carry.
those.
The 135-pound, 4'9", Carter's the shortest.
Wait, how the fuck this nigga weigh? Oh, no, in my he don't weigh more than me. I'm finna say, boy, what the?
Player in FBS.
I guess size really doesn't matter, huh? Well, look, there are players you wouldn't believe exist in the NFL, like Derek Coleman, because this dude made it all the way to the league, even though he was deaf. See, in football, hearing is everything. You gotta hear what plays the quarterback is calling, you gotta communicate with your teammates on defense. Hell, if you can't hear footsteps, you might get blindsided. So Derek had to invent an entirely new way of playing football by spending hours perfecting lip reading, figuring out exactly what play was being called, not only through helmets, but through mouth guards. And this paid off big time, because Derek became one of the best players to come out of California, earning a full-ride scholarship to UCLA. And in 2012, Derek made history, signing with the Seattle Seahawks, and becoming the first offensive deaf player in NFL history.
You were the first person in the entire
This nigga
history
like
of
Michael
the
Jordan.
NFL
It makes
to play
sense now.
offense and be deaf.
You think how my football career started? I thought it was some pantyhose to cover my head, and now I'm here in the NFL. I think everybody had their unique story, and that just happened to be mine.
Did you feel like you had a disability when you were growing up?
It wasn't really until I got to junior in high school when I started realizing that it's not really a disability to manage.
Advantage? How?
I can turn people.
Why did she look like that? What? Why did she look like that when she said, why did she do that? This video is test, bro. I'm going to heaven, bro. You're not taking my ticket, bro. You're not taking my ticket. Why did she move like that? Watch her face, bro. Watch her face.
When you were growing up?
It wasn't really until I got to junior in high school when I started realizing that it's not really a disability to manage.
Advantage? How?
I can turn people on and off whenever I want.
Man, you might not be able to hear it, but I'm cheering for him. Now, we gotta talk about how a college player is dominated with one hand. Meet Alex Hurlburt, and he's been missing his left arm since birth, but that didn't stop anything for him, because Alex was able to train one arm to become ridiculously strong, which was enough for him to become one of the best linebackers in the state of Oregon, even winning the Conference Player of the Year. But the craziest part is, this man got a full-ride scholarship to play D1 football for the University of Montana.
This week he found out he'll play Division I football on a full-ride scholarship at the University of Montana.
Anything's possible. I mean, I never saw myself playing college football.
This isn't about his arm to me. This is about him being a great football player and a great human being, and that's the part I'm most proud about.
And after his football career came to an end, Alex made his disability look like a superpower when he became a one-armed power lifter. Man, this dude is deadlifting over 600 pounds with basically one arm. But down in Louisiana, there's a player that's going to change how football's played forever. Because we got to mention the college football player. That's a woman. I'm talking about Haley Van Voris. And since she was 5, all she's ever wanted was to make it to the NFL. So she practiced every day until she...
Do they have a women's league for football? That's a genuine question. I do not know, but that's fire though.
was recruited by Shenandoah University, but not as a kicker, not as a punter, or even a long snapper. This 5'6", 145-pound girl is a safety. But even though she was on the team, they sidelined her for 3 years straight. And she used that time to sharpen up her game until 2023. Because during a game against Juanita College, she made sports history.
Talk to me.
The 5'6" safety came into the game
They
with
actually playing it?
Shenandoah up 26 points against Juniata College, registering a quarterback
Get his
hurry
ass!
on the way to a Shenandoah win.
Did that quarterback know what or who hit him?
I've had some people come up to after the game until I take my helmet off. They're like, dude, I didn't know you were even a girl.
Man, I wouldn't want to be tackled by her. But one college football player made it to the NFL while battling cancer. See, James Conner had it all. A starting spot in the Pittsburgh Panthers and a bright future ahead in the NFL. Then one day, his dreams became a nightmare because James had a crazy headache and night sweats. So he went straight to the doctor, where he received the worst news of his life. A tumor was surrounding his heart. Doctors told him he'd only have 1 week to live, unless he got an emergency surgery. So James didn't waste a second. He got the surgery underway and went through chemotherapy. Now, patients that go through chemotherapy are usually exhausted and have trouble doing any physical activity. But not James, because the day after each chemo treatment, he went and worked out with the Pittsburgh football team, doing sprints, lifting weights.
Did y'all hear this goat? Did y'all hear what this nigga just, what? This nigga, bro, he's Michael Jordan to me. Boy, what? You did what? Bro, that's insane, bro. Shout out to this nigga, bro. Like, see, bro, this is the stories that we need to hear, bro. I don't care about Blueface and Krishan. Like, bro, this is what we need to hear, bro. Like, this is literally, like, made me want to take shit to a whole other level. Like, what?
James, because the day after each chemo treatment, he went and worked out with the Pittsburgh football team, doing sprints, lifting weights, and doing agility. For James, not playing football wasn't an option. But in 2016, he witnessed a miracle. After 12 chemo treatments, he was 100% cancer-free.
So we all good? Yes, sir. Yeah. May 23rd was the day I got that call telling me I made a complete recovery. 1,000 pounds lifted off. You know, flat. I could jump up 16 inches vertical.
So, with the cancer out of his body, James immediately went to work. And after the season ended, he declared for the NFL draft, where, with the 105th pick, he was selected by his hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir.
In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select James.
Shout out, bro.
Shout out, bro.
Man, unbelievable feeling, man. Right back at Heinz Field, ready to get number 7.
Did you see this happening a year ago, 2 years ago?
You know, I knew I was going to be in the NFL one day. This, you know, everything I've been through, a little bump in the road. But I'm thankful for it all.
We have to say the Steelers Nation.
Steelers Nation, let's go. I'm ready to work. About to win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Man, football is easy compared to what he went through. But there are a lot more unbelievable athletes coming up. Like the 7-foot monster, too big for the NFL. The 560-pound NFL quarterback. Or this NFL kicker without a foot. And we'll get to all that and much more. But first, we gotta thank our sponsor, FanDuel. The best app to place your Super Bowl 58 bets. Cause if you bet $5 on anything, but we gotta talk about the NFL kicker without a foot. See, this is Tom Dempsey, a football player born without most of his fingers on his right hand and missing all of his toes on his right foot. So playing any sport seemed impossible. But one thing that Tom had was incredible strength. So in high school, after his coach told the team that they needed a new kicker, Dempsey raised his hand, and everyone looked at him like he was insane. So he took the cleat off his bad foot and booted the ball past the end zone. Dempsey realized his foot was a literal brick. And from that moment on, he was destined to be a kicker. So after months of kicking, San Diego Chargers head coach Sid Gilman happened to stop by their campus and saw Dempsey kicking. He knew immediately that they needed to have him on the team. So in 1968, Tom Dempsey signed with the Chargers, and they hooked him up with a new shoe that featured a flattened toe area and functioned like a sledgehammer. In his first season, he was killing it, hitting field goal after field goal. And on November 8th, 1970, Dempsey's team was down 2 with just a few seconds left, and they needed a field goal to win it all. Only problem was, they were 63 yards out, which if he made it, it would be the farthest successful field goal anyone had ever kicked. So, he lined up, and this happened.
You're winning the game.
I don't believe this. It's good! I don't believe it! The field goal attempt was good from 63 yards away!
Shout out, bro.
From that day on, the play became forever known as the kick, and Dempsey became an NFL legend. Well, look, we gotta talk about the 7-foot-tall, 440-pound monster that was too big for the NFL. Meet John Cron, aka Junior. See, at only 11 years old, Junior was 6 foot tall and had a size 16 shoe. This child looked like a fully grown man. So with genetics that crazy, Junior immediately started playing football, and by the time he reached high school in 2012, he became a monster. Because he had grown to 7 feet and weighed 440 pounds, which officially made Junior the largest person to ever play football. So at 16, there wasn't a single person that could guard Junior.
Niggas, I really finna all trying to fight. This nigga can take all y'all. Like, bro, if there was a parlay on nigga, I'll put it on him, nigga. He gotta go soft on
He
him.
came down with his hand, like, falling over and hit me in the face mask, and I was like, felt like I got hit by a truck.
And with talent like this, Junior made it a goal to get to the NFL, but almost immediately after, something terrible happened. His biggest supporter, his mother, had passed away in her sleep. Junior's life had turned upside down, and the only way he knew how to deal with the tragedy was to get back on the field and play some football. And he was able to do that for a few more months, but when it came time to apply for colleges, they weren't interested. They thought Junior was slow. They thought his footwork was terrible, and he was so big, there was a genuine concern that he might fall on a teammate and break them, which had already happened multiple times in high school. So he was left with no choice but to attend community college in Riverside, with hopes that he could lose some weight and one day attend a D1 school. And after 2 years of working his ass off, that D1 school came calling, the Portland State Vikings. So Junior dropped everything, moved to Portland, and joined the team as an offensive lineman. But even though he continued to work hard off the field, even losing 45 pounds, it wasn't enough to help him on the field, because Junior was impossible to play. He had the slowest 40-yard dash on the team, and running backs ran around him like he was a 7-foot-tall practice coach, which is exactly why Junior never got a second of playtime. So at this point, it seemed like Junior's dreams of going pro were officially dead. But during the final weeks of his senior year, Junior got the offer of a lifetime. It was the WWE, asking if he'd join him as a wrestler. So, while
If this nigga punch a nigga, do you know what he'll do to them? Boy, do not sign that nigga.
Junior never made it to the NFL, he's currently training and on his way to becoming a WWE GOAT. Now,
if I was there,
mention,
bro, I'm leaving.
He's not the only one who was too big for the NFL. Because there's an NFL quarterback that got so big, he reached 560 pounds, which ruined his career and even his life. See, by his senior year of high school, Jared Lorenzen was the best football player in all of Kentucky.
Nigga, how the fuck do you get that big, nigga? What is you eating? What is you eating? Like, nigga, bruh, I don't even... What is you eating? Like that, I'm actually. What is you eating to get that big, my nigga? Like, how do you even stomach that? Like, there's no way.
Throwing 45 touchdowns in the season, leading his team to a state championship. But there was one giant problem. Jared was bigger than most of his linemen, weighing 240 pounds. And people wondered, how could a quarterback possibly be that big? Well, it turns out, Jared had an addiction. The man couldn't stop eating. And even though he was getting recruited to play D1 football for Kentucky, he just kept eating until he ballooned up to 308 pounds. But every day, he showed arm strength that was off the charts. Because Jared would end practice by getting on one knee at center field and throwing the ball over 60 yards until he hit the goalpost. His coaches knew that he was special, but they told him the only way he'd be able to play quarterback is if he dropped 40 pounds. So Jared went to work, waking up at 5 a.m. every morning to play racquetball for 2 hours, keeping up with his normal football workouts, swimming every single night, and also took Ripped Fuel, a weight loss pill that was banned by the FDA. But it all ended up paying off, because of the last weigh-in. The scale read 268.8, and Jared was officially the new starting quarterback, finishing his college career first all-time in SEC passing attempts, and even getting nicknames from teammates like the Hefty Lefty, J-Lo, and the Pillsbury Throw Boy.
What are you being called?
Oh boy, Hefty Lefty, which still I love. Pillsbury Throw Boy, round mounted touchdown, mobile, agile, hostile, and hungry.
Now in 2004, despite not getting drafted, the New York Giants wanted a piece of the man, so they signed him as a free agent, where he backed up Eli Manning for 3 seasons and even won a Super Bowl ring. But his struggles with food continued to haunt him. Only this time, there was no coming back. Because Giants coach Tom Coughlin put a weight limit of 292 pounds on him, saying that Jared would pay $450 per day for every pound he went over.
Per day is insane, nigga. How much per day? Per day? Oh my God. Do you know how much? Oh my God.
Every time I was overweight, which happened, we'll say happened, it was $450 per pound per day.
What's the most you ever?
Oh, I thought that nigga said 450,000. I was like, nigga, how rich do you think this nigga is?
Been over.
They capped it at 1,200, so I paid that once.
450. That's 3 pounds.
Yeah, my weight, I had to be between 288 and 292.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to me that they didn't try to put like an athletic weight on you. They just wanted to restrict you to save you.
I'm getting 300.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's when he realized he had a serious problem. Because his food addiction was so bad, he did everything he could to lose weight, besides change his diet. Skipping every meal before weigh-in, spitting in a bottle all day to get rid of water weight, and even going fully clothed into a sauna, trying to sweat everything out. All just to barely make weight. But the moment he made weight, he went right back to the junk food. Eventually though, he just couldn't lose the weight anymore. And no NFL team wanted him. Food had literally killed his NFL career. By age 33, Jared was done playing football, and he didn't know what to do with himself. So, to cope with the depression, he did the only thing he knew how to do: eat. So one day, he went to the doctor and was told that he was not only killing himself, but he also needed to go on blood thinners, because he had grown to an insane 4XT, a size 54 waist, and an unbelievable 560 pounds. Jared went from Super Bowl winner to morbidly obese. But eventually, Jared's addiction got the best of him. And sadly, on July 3rd, 2019, at just 38 years old, Jared passed away.
Visitation was set to be.
Oh my God. That's a lot. That's a lot. Jesus. Wow. Y'all, to those who are overweight and that weighs a lot, bro. Like, I know y'all want to push body positivity, and that's good, bro. But if it is affecting your health and the way that you move and affecting like the things you want to do, like get out of bed, bro, or like just move around for like extended period of time, bro. Like, bro, just try to cut back on some stuff, bro. And I know, bro, trust me, I know it's easy said than done, bro. But you gotta get to work, man. Especially if you want to live a long, healthy life. You want to, like, especially if you got kids, bro. You gotta be here for your kids, man. I love y'all, bro. Y'all gotta be safe out here.
Began at 2 o'clock today here in Edgewood, Kentucky, but the line started forming at 12:45.
Wow.
Clearly, the legacy that Jared Lorenzen is leaving behind is quite significant. Jared, we're told, wouldn't want anyone to be saddened by his death, so they called this a celebration of life. And what a life he packed in just 38 years.
When you're dealing with an individual as unique as him, I mean, you very rarely can find a guy who was that talented and cared that much for people.
You know, he was always in a good mood. He was always had a smile on his face. He was always positive.
And always turning heads on the football field.
At first, you just see the bodies, and you're like, well, which one's the quarterback? But then to see him actually in the film, it's like, you know, you could definitely tell he was a special player.
Who is probably best summed up by an uncle, Terry Conley.
It would be a long time before you find another one like him.
Didn't even have to know Jared at all to feel that way about him.
That boy was a GOAT. Shout out to you, man. R.I.P., man. Damn. Rebound, I like how you in this video, man. Showing my boy some support and giving my boy a shout out. Dang, bro. This shit sad, bro. Like, it got me like it got me in a mood. Like, usually I'd be like, but now I'm like down. But if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which video was the craziest. Well, not video. Which part of the video was craziest to y'all. I love y'all and take care of y'all. So I'll see y'all next video. We out.